Hey y'all, Joseph James here, or Monk Joseph with the Broken Buddha. Today we're going to do a Sa Lung video, a full course. I am going to try to freestyle this video, but it's going to be kind of tricky, but we'll see what we can do. So let's go ahead and start with the Bon Guru Yoga prayer, because this is an official video and course for this. I will do it in English, Tibetan and English, and we'll get right to it. From the crown of my head, palace of great bliss, I pray to you, benevolent root Lama, O precious one, grant me the blessings to recognize my own true nature as a Buddha. Chezak Dewa Chembel Bodam Duden Genzawe Lama Lazo Debzang Jezemzo Tambarembo Jirang Orang Jebarjeng Jelo. From the crown of my head, palace of great bliss, I pray to you, benevolent root Lama, O precious one, grant me the blessings to recognize my own true nature as a Buddha. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and get into the Sa Lung. I'm going to start with 9 breathings of purification. You can do the Tibetan Buddhist or Bompo 9 breathings. Go back and check the video if you need to see it, because I'm not going to redo the whole thing. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so let's do our 9 breathings and then we'll get right into it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so when we're going to go ahead and for any Westerners watching this, what we are doing is we are expanding 4 different cavities. 1, 2, 3, technically 5, but we do this one at the same time. These 2 Indian practitioners will understand it as crown, eye, and throat chakra. Tibetan practitioners will recognize it as throat and crown. Third eye is kind of mixed in with the crown in substitution of energy speaking. All right, so yeah, and I will do my best to describe these for the religious practitioners as well. But again, I want to get right into it. So there's a description in the first one and in the 5 yogas about what we're doing. I might talk about it a little bit at the end. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so let's do this. Start with the throat and crown chakra. You're going to imagine that you are you have a yellow chakra here that's spiraling out, the exact amount of arms and extensions. You'll have to go into your own style to figure out. But as you're breathing in and expanding your throat, you're going to imagine this yellow web. We'll just call it a yellow web for now, but it's more deriving from the middle, not from the outside, so it's not quite a web. For the first one, when you're pivoting your neck, we're going to hold in our breath. Again, go back and look at the Salung videos or upward moving prana videos to get a basic understanding of Salung. But when you're doing this motion, be very careful to notice that you're not pivoting on the top of your vertebrae. You should be focusing on, imagine there's a rubber band tied from your chin to your chest, because there is, it's your throat chakra, physically speaking. And you'll turn, and you're kind of like doing this with this rubber band. And what makes it tricky is that when you come down, you're not so much just leaning your head forward and over. You should kind of be like pulling your spinal cord up while tucking into your throat. So you're doing this like stretch like this to your throat and the fascia in your throat, okay? And then you'll go to the right 5 times, all right? So here we go. And again, we'll do the next one next. Okay, so here's this one. Let's go ahead and just do it. Ready? Oh, and the best way to understand opening your throat, don't just breathe in. If you can hear I'm talking right now, it's because I've opened up my throat all the way. So when you breathe, you're not just going to breathe into your lungs. You should almost imagine that your lungs are now here. So try to expand this space as much as you can as you're breathing in. So it's like, and you can feel like everything here should be pushed open and pulled open as far as it can be, okay? All right. Let's go through it. Don't mind my silly faces. I'm trying to, as you breathe out, that same muscle and reflex you're using to open and breathe into, you want to push, so that as you're pushing all that air out, you're stretching it in a different way. As you're breathing out and squeezing in, you're pushing the fascia and creating resistance. Okay? Pardon me, because there's that too. You might want to keep a napkin handy. Some people don't like using their very nice custom-made outfits from China, but whatever. I'm a monk, that's what we do. Okay, so I do everything 3 times, but for the middle one, I either do a custom or inner version. So for this, we're going to do the inner upward moving for the throat. You're going to do the exact same thing you did before, but instead of rotating your head around, you're going to pressurize everything. You cover your mouth, cover your nose, pressurize everything. And as you're pressurizing everything, feel the air slowly creeping down and pushing out the further down you go. And then once you get down as far as you can, personally, I do 10 seconds pushing down and then shoot it all up into my crown chakra and then open it back up for another 10 seconds and then open it back up for another 10. So I do mine for approximately like a 30-second fast count. But again, it's 10 here, push all the blood up, and then pull it back down to expand more. And I'll go back to the original, but I'll show you what it looks like. It's important for me to note that for the upward moving prana, that when you're done and you're breathing out, you want to You don't want to have any dark smoke or dark light inside of your body, but as you're breathing out, you should picture from here up, you are projecting out a all your impurities, negativity, anger, whatever it is you're dealing with, you're pushing it all out here. But again, as you're pushing, it's still clear light here. You know, you have your yellow chakra, your clear chakra here, and you're still pushing the energy up. And this is the only one where you're going to push the energy out of the top. But again, make sure you're making a separation. You don't want the smoke, anything dark like that inside of you for personal health visualization purposes. So make sure it's only dark when it's leaving you, not when it's in you. This is the only one that you do that with. The rest of them, you will breathe the impurities and negativity out of the two side channels, because that's how you perceive it. Yes, I'm in a body. You see me breathing out of my nose, but you're breathing. You're going in the side channels. You're going in your white and red, down to the blue, pulling up all the way to the yellow. And for this one, you go out. The other ones, when you get to your heart chakra or your stomach or anything, are going back out as the impurities, right? So only upward moving prana, impurities at the top. The other 4 impurities out the nose. Got it? Cool. So let's go ahead and do our last upward moving prana. Since I already gave instruction, we'll make this kind of quick. In between these, you should be sitting at least for a minute and relaxing in between each exercise and each rep. So I just did 3. I should have been sitting there for like a minute straight, 5 minutes, an hour, however long you want to sit to enjoy your freshly cleared chakra. But we're doing this video, so I can't wait. But you should know that you should be sitting and waiting in between everything, after everything. All right. Let's move on to life force prana. And when we breathe in, you're going to imagine a white light filling your entire chest cavity, upper pleural cavity, lungs, heart chakra, however you want to see it, but you want to fill this space with white light. Okay, and everything else is still the same. You're going to breathe out the impurities out of your nose. You're going to follow it up the side channels into the center channel. All right, so let's go into it. And also with this one, there's a part where you're last to say, and for me, I just blew all that dark negative impurities out of the top of my head. I like to grab the tail of that and throw it away when I'm doing my lassoing. And this is my personal visualization. This is not too, I mean, it may be part of the actual training, but this is what I have discovered on my own that I enjoy. So first we'll do to the side, which is mainly for kidney health. If you're looking at this as a Westerner, the middle one, we will go to the front instead, and I will get into that in a minute. Let's go ahead and do the first one, all right? So, also, in my opinion, it's important to lock out the other chakras when you're working with one. It's okay if you have flow or you can't lock them out, but in my opinion, it's important to try to really push the fascia and blood pressure within the human body, all right? So let's go into it. All right. Now for the middle one that I do. So throwing to the side, you are subterfuging energy to your kidneys. If you're throwing to the front, you are subterfuging energy to your liver and your spleen. So it is just a slightly different exercise. After I throw to the front, I'm going to do what I call cleaning the bell. This is another exercise. This is something that I've made up. It may be part of it, it may not be. But I picture that my rib cage is a bell, And instead of doing the single arm, I kind of push my chest out and rotate it, and kind of picture that my spine and my central channel is like a brush cleaning the bell. And you have to take the bell, and you're not really, the bottom's easy to clean. You got to get that top part. So you're going to rotate your rib cage like this while allowing your arms to rotate around it and clean the bell is what I call this move. All right. So let's get to it. Okay, and if you did that right, you'll notice a little more clarity in your central channel or your chakras. That's why I kept it and keep it in there. All right, so let's do one more of this and we'll move on. The first one where you're throwing to the side and rotating the shoulders. And make sure you notice when you're rotating your shoulders, I like to count on the downswing. I think some people like to go on the up. I count on the downswing because here's my rib cage. When I come here, you're using your body to push, like, so you're inside your pleural cavity. You're using your body to push your rib cage to stretch this side of your pleural cavity and compress this side a little bit. So understand that you're doing this thing that is going to benefit you as a Western medical practitioner. And of course, the cleanness and efficiency of which we do these things as religious practitioners also has a huge benefit. And I believe this will increase your ability of doing this as a religious practitioner. All right, so let's go ahead and do the third one. Life force prana. You'll feel all kinds of things clear up as you're doing these. If you drink or smoke or vape, you will notice an insane amount of clarity when you're done this. And you will actually notice your self-healing damage that you've caused yourself, whether you're stripping the esophagus from drinking or too much heat from vaping or just too much damage from smoking. You will notice not only the damage, but the fact that you're healing it within the course of 2 to 3 exercises, and it's really wild. I've shown some people this. Anyway, moving on. Next, we will do, oh, good grief. Sorry, I'm still a new student / teacher. Did upward moving, life force, fire, all pervasive downward. Got it. So now we're gonna do the fire like prana, and I gotta take my shirt off for this because this is a tricky one. Fuck, whatever, just do it. So you're gonna be vacuuming, you're doing some vacuum organ work, and it'll help if I have this off. Okay. So this one you're gonna breathe in through the channels, the central channel, until you hit a red channel. Right. This is your fire like prana. And you want to think picture like a red bowl. Again, look at the scriptures to see if you need to know exactly how many spokes or what this looks like. All right. And you're going to breathe in and expand. This is, by the way, my version of Salung is going to be both combined with and different than the other ones you see because I am a Qigong or traditional Chinese medical practitioner to some extent, especially in Qigong. So a lot of styles will tell you to breathe into your chest and guide the chi to the place while the air is in your chest. I don't see anything wrong with this. This is just not how I found it to be efficacious. I found it when you're stretching the fascia to be more efficacious because you want to be efficient and efficacious both medically and religiously. So if you have it religious and you're not benefiting yourself medically to keep yourself being, I mean, these things are tied together as I understand it, but I can't expect you to believe what I believe. So, all right, let's go ahead and do this. So this one, you're going to expand your stomach. And then if you know anything about Chinese medicine, you're going to close the secret chakra, or I forget there's another name for it. You're going to close your Huyan cavity. And then you're going to close the vase, which means you're going to take your rib cage and I'm trying to think how the best way to explain this is. So you're going to compress your pelvic floor while you're in the exercise, and then you're going to make sure that the top of your vase is closed. So you still want your spine straight, but you're going to want your vase closed, which means your ribs should not be expanding while you're doing this. Your ribs should stay as pushed down as hard as you can. You'll see what I mean. Let's just get right into it. There's no other way. All right. So I'll do the first one, and then we'll do the inner one. So here's the first one. Okay, so you may see my body twist a little bit, but my rib cage I try to keep compressed down. I'll try to do a better demo on the second one. For the middle one, we're going to do the inner, where you're going to expand and do what they call pulling the water against the rocks. I call it vacuum breathing. So you're going to see me expand my stomach, lock out my breath, and then I'm going to pull everything up. And when I pull everything up, I can feel it all the way up to the top of my head, and that's your goal. There's days I can't do it, but if you can get the energetic feeling and or pressure, blood pressure, chi, bioelectric function to your brain, that's kind of what you're going for. All right, so let me go ahead and try to demo this one. Again, this one you're just gonna, all of these are, everything's in fives in Salong. So you saw I did 5 to the left, 5 to the right, then breathe out. This time I will pull 5 up, 5 down. I do this slow, so you don't have to do it this slow. You can do it as fast as you want, but I do this slow so I can look for that feeling in my crown chakra and third eye. All right, so here we go. All right, and then I'll do the last one. I'll try to keep the vase and the top and bottom of the vase closed and sealed properly for this one better. All right, here we go. All right, 2 left, almost done. Yeah, it's gonna be a long one. Let's hope the video turns out good. It's gonna be a long one to redo. Okay, and we're done with that. So let's put our jacket back on. I just needed to show you guys how the stomach stuff goes. It's kind of tricky. Vacuum breathing is always tricky unless you put a lot of time into it. Okay, so next we'll be doing all pervasive prana. And in the middle of this, one of my favorites. Okay, so for this one, it's going to be a little different. You're going to breathe in. Imagine your body is filling with green light. Okay, you have your hands like normal. You're going to breathe in as deep as you can, up to here, green light. At that point, you'll put your hands here. Breathe in the rest of the way. Drop your hands, and then clap. So it's going to look like this. Above your head and rub your hands until they get hot. And if you have a lot of chi, they'll get hot. If you're not, just wait for them to get warm. But you should rub them until both you feel the dead skin fall off your hands and until you feel the heat. One or both is acceptable, but you should be having a response. Okay, so for the first round, you're going to come here. And once you get your hands hot, you're going to rub the top of your head, your face, the back of your head, your shoulders, body, kidneys, legs, arms. And then you're going to do a stretching. I don't have enough space here. I'm going to have to move the camera. You're going to be stretching like this. And if you can notice, one arm is fully extended, almost like shooting a bow. And the other arm is still bent, but both are going back as far as they can. And then I'll sweep. You can't see my hands, but I'm sweeping to do the same thing and do this. And you'll see what it looks like in a second. Again, look at the books, texts, or the books and videos. I'll put a link down here for Salon with the Ligature group. And I always encourage everyone to take their courses. They have great courses. Yeah, so check it out. All right, anyway, so let's go through this. This is the all-pervasive prana. Okay. Did I miss anything? No. If you can't do all 5 breaths, do not suffocate yourself in the middle of any of these. Do one, let me think, what is it? Do one bow draw, and then one bow draw, one to the right, one to the left, or do 2. You don't have to do 5. I'm mentioning this because in the next one, I will actually push your ability to hold your breath no matter how good you are at Salon. All right, and I want to make sure everybody moves at their own pace. I don't want you to go too far. Stuff is beneficial. All right, here we go. Okay. If you like that one and survive that one, you'll really enjoy the next one. I'm going to take a second, get some breath. So this next one, I modified from Chinese medicine and Salon. I haven't figured out what to call it yet. Somewhere between be grateful for every breath counts. You'll see, because it's going to push. And by the time, if you do all 5 of what I'm about to do, if you don't pass out or die trying to hold your breath that long, like I almost do every single time, you will be very, very, very grateful for that next breath. And that's why I call it this. So maybe I should just call it very, very grateful next breath is what this should be called. All right. So it's going to be just like the original. You're going to rub everything. When you get to your leg, I want you to fully lay it out. Top, bottom, right leg, top, bottom, recross arm, top, bottom, right arm, top, bottom. Now for this one, you're going to grab the bow, and I want you can have your thumbs attached, just like you always do in Tibetan shamanism and Salon, through bumpos, and you're going to actually draw the arrow, get your arms together all the way across your body, and then pull and release. And then you're going to grab another one, and you're going to do this 5 times. The key to this is reaching behind you, 1, having your arms together and your body torque this way, 2, and then 3, this pulling motion. So you should really be just focusing on this technique. And one of my masters once told me it's all about art and energy. So I would never shoot a bow or kill something, but this is still part of the exercise of how to better yourself spiritually, religiously, and physically. All right, so let's go through this. The very, very grateful breath is what we should probably call it. All right. Feel that? Glad to be alive. All right. I don't see anything wrong with modifying stuff that you enjoy or you find efficacious for yourself, but I always make sure that I do the original the third time. I don't know better than the sages. I don't know better than my teachers, and this all came through them. So I always finish with the original, and you'll notice, you can play around with it yourself. You'll notice it's the best way to go. All right. Whew, let me get a breath. And last one, ready? Back to the original. All right. All right. You can make sure you take time to meditate and breathe between these and really let yourself feel the clear chakra. All right. Whew. Last one. Downward moving prana. Okay, so this is going to be your pelvic floor muscles, also known as your Huyan cavity. Yeah. And the best way to understand this of how to control this, because I'm going to be pushing it out. And if you don't understand that, you may have an accident. So take your own time and practice breathing with that part of your body. I will do my best to explain this now. When you're doing Huyan breathing or secret chakra breathing, pelvic floor breathing, you need to first break down the difference of controlling the muscles you urinate with and the muscles you defecate with, or stop, I should say, defecating with. And as you breathe in,